One of the aspects of the bushfire emergency has been the impact on so many animals, plants and wildlife, but up to 500 million animals are estimated to have died in these fires. Joining us now is Dr Katrina Warren. Katrina, thank you for your time. It is absolutely heartbreaking to think of how many animals have been hurt or killed in these fires. What's your advice if you do find injured wildlife?
Okay, the best thing to understand is that injured wildlife are very stressed and they can lash out and they can bite and injure you. So your safety is the most important. If possible, if you have a towel or a blanket or something cotton that you can wrap around that animal and put it into something secure, that is fantastic. Avoid touching animals like kangaroos, obviously snakes, bats as well. Bats can carry some disease that you don't want to get bitten. But if you can put it in a nice, safe box in the dark and then get it to either a veterinarian immediately or a wildlife rescue group.
And once you have, sorry, you just said that there, when you take it to the rescue group, how do you find the right people to take it to? Is it animal specific? Are there just certain centres where you can take them? Yes,
look, your local veterinarians can probably advise you. So most vets will take in wildlife and care for them for free and then will help them go to the right rescue group. There are local rescue groups in every state and there's some quite big ones. So I'm working here on the ground with Wires. So Wires have something like 2,500 volunteers that are working round the clock right now. And what we need to understand is these animals were already suffering from drought conditions, so they were already really hungry, really thirsty animals, so they were already stressed, and then combined with the fires. So you've also got a lot of animals that are just severely dehydrated, like the koalas that we can see on this footage, severely dehydrated, often in pain, often burnt as well. So some of them just have to be euthanized, which is just so heartbreaking.
Absolutely. I mean, these images really are hard to watch, but so many people do want to help. Do you have any advice for anyone out there who wants to donate to any kind of help for animals? What are the best charities to be sending your money to?
Okay, well, you've probably seen the stories that the GoFundMe for the Port Macquarie koalas, that's raised over $2 million, and that's been used for the koalas because something like 30% of our New South Wales koalas has been wiped out. So that's one really good one. Wires are also using their money for a lot for feed, for supplies, for medical equipment, and that's not just for koalas, it's for all of our native wildlife. And then I know there's Victorian Wildlife Rescue, South Australia has Fauna Animal Rescue. If you hop online, you can find the big charities quite well, or ask your RSPCA or your local vet.
And we know a lot of people right now are living in those areas where there's extreme weather conditions forecast for today, that they might be under threat for fires. What should people be planning with their animals if they do have to evacuate?
Okay. It's really important to plan for your pets, and also if you're in an area, just a bushland area, have a pet evacuation plan regardless of if you're in fire danger today. And with that, have a pack ready to go that's just got your essentials, including some tinned food, some litter, a litter box if you've got cats. Identification is so important. Having photos of your animals that show any markings, making sure that your microchip details are up to date. If you don't have time to do that, identification is the most important thing. So put something on your pet's collar, write on it in marker if you don't have a tag, put a bag tag on it, anything that can actually just get your details onto your animal, and the same with carry crates. So if your dog or cat can go into a carry basket, get that identified very, very clearly, put your vet's phone number on it as well. Also on your front door, if you have to leave or you have to leave those animals behind, make sure you leave a note saying, these are my pets, these are what they need, this is my number and my vet.
I don't know if I'm just a city slicker who doesn't really understand how the country works, because it seems to me extraordinary that you wouldn't already have this plan for your animals. Is this something that happens a lot?
A lot, and we know that in emergencies, fires, floods, any emergency, people won't evacuate if they're worried about leaving their pets behind, but often they haven't planned for their pets. So also another important thing is to get your pets indoors early, especially cats. If you let your cat outside, don't think, oh, we'll grab the cat at the last minute. They disappear. They get scared and they will run. So it's really important to just make sure that your animals are confined and safe, and if you need to go, you can go. But it is amazing that a lot of people think of their pets as part of their family, but haven't actually got them as part of the plan.
Unbelievable. But can you tell us a bit about the vets out there on the ground helping animals at the moment? We know all those firefighters working around the clock. It seems like a lot of people are working absolutely to the bone to rescue animals as well.
Yes, the media officer at Wise actually said to me yesterday that their vets, everyone is working for free. They're attending to the wildlife for free. And so they're giving up their Christmas period and their holidays as well, but working round the clock. And unfortunately, a lot of it is devastating work as well, because the wildlife carers can't actually get into the bushland until it's deemed safe. And often that's 2 weeks after the fires come through, and then you're looking at the vets having to go in, and often it's euthanasia. So, and also livestock as well. So it's really hard work for the vets. It's not very positive. It's not what you go into vet science to do, to help animals, when you're actually euthanasing them in a crisis. So a big shout out to all the vets out there on the ground that are doing incredible work.
Absolutely. And do you have any advice for those dealing with extreme heat about how to keep their pets safe?
Yes, well, even just in Sydney today, it's so hot. So don't walk your dogs in the heat of the day. In fact, wait till it's very cool, if it cools down this evening, because your dogs can actually burn the pads on their paws. Add some extra ice cubes to the water bowl. That's a really simple one. But make sure you also have a couple of water bowls, if you've got water in the backyard, that are always in the shade, because water can heat up so quickly to temperatures that they can't drink from. And be really careful if you've got one of those breeds of dogs that we call brachycephalic, which is the squashed face, like the pugs and the bulldogs. They really suffer from the heat, and they would be very grateful if you kept them in the house today.
Katrina Warren, thank you so much for your time on this really important topic. Excellent advice there. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.